Well, good morning and welcome to Girdwood on the Turnagain Arm. We're at the very tip of the Turnagain Arm at the Alaskan Wildlife Conservation Center.
Yes.
Okay. It is like $27 to get in. It's a walk around or drive around type thing. Lots of animals being rescued. I do remember last time we were here, they had a one-winged eagle.
Yes.
So we're gonna go see if we can find him.
Yes.
They did change the park a little bit. You can drive it now, which is really kind of cool instead of all the walking. So it's our way of helping out the local animals, I guess.
Yes.
So, all right, let's go check out some of the animals. So this is Adonis. He's been here since 1995. He was a rescue. He was found shot, and they were not able to save his wing, so they ended up taking his wing. See if I can zoom in a little bit. Poor guy. He's been here since '95. Missing a wing. What a shame. And over here, if you can see it in there, we have an owl too. Oh well. I'm glad he got rescued. And we have porcupines. Don't want to cuddle too much with them. Wow, we have a little coyote over there.
Me, like anytime I see them, it's just they're very elusive. Like you see them for a second and then they're gone.
Kind of cute little guy. And we have muskox. And the words floating around here are kind of prehistoric looking, aren't they? But yeah, we got muskox. And I think we've got some other ones way over there too. There's Ben and Kathy up there, and look how close this guy is. They fed him some celery, and so he's just sitting here munching away. He looks cuddly, doesn't he, Angel?
Sort of.
Oh, maybe that's where Teddy Bear came from.
Teddy Roosevelt.
All right, we have a grizz. Oh, talk about bad timing. Gone. So we actually have 3 bear. 1, 2, and 3. There's a big guy right there in the middle. Alright, we have moved on from there over to the bison, and look at all these babies just sleeping. Mama's laying there getting uncomfortable with us walking by, but I want to see the baby on the other side. There's another one right there. There's all kinds of them. Oh, there he is. He's waking up. Oh, just for a second. Look at the size of the antlers on that reindeer. Let me see if I can zoom in just a little bit more. Look at that. Those are huge.
Still velvety, it looks like.
He's just shaking his head, walking back and forth.
I don't know what that means.
And he comes back again. Grizzlies aren't meant to be behind wire. Maybe that's what it means. See, he's not happy. This is why it's called an animal rescue center. There's something going on over there. They're holding a bag of IV and working around this elk, doing something. Trying to make it healthy again. The ultimate in laziness. The moose are laying down while grazing. Why stand up and graze if you can lay down and graze? Look at that. Punch, punch, punch. I don't know if you can hear that, but that wolf is howling. This is not the Whittier tunnel. This is a tunnel we got to drive through to get to the Whittier tunnel. See, that one was nice and short. The cost to drive through the tunnel is now $13, and we're in line to pay our $13 toll. Then we're going to go over to the staging area. But we got to pay our 13 bucks first. So we are now in the queue. They said it's going to be about 20 minutes. So I just shut the truck off and we're walking up to say hi to Ben and Kathy. We're right up here. There's the triangle of the train tunnel that we'll be driving into. We're getting close. You see one green light up there. They're letting all the buses go first. We're in line 1, so hopefully we get to go next.
Alrighty, here we go. As you can see, we have our green light way down there, which says we can go, and then over there to the left is the triangle, which is where we're going to enter the tunnel. It's pretty long, pretty fun, and kind of freaky because it's very wet in here, so it leaks a lot.
At least it did back in 19.
Yeah, we shall see how it goes. And we keep our lights on in here. It's only 25 miles an hour. And what was the last thing?
What? Keep your headlights on. 25 miles an hour. No stopping unless there's an emergency.
Yes, no stopping unless there's an emergency. Let's hope that doesn't happen. So here we go. Getting closer. No pedestrian traffic in here. Only vehicles. Oh, green. Let's see. Stop. Go. And here we go. There's the triangle. We're heading in. Very exciting.
Let's hope no trains come.
Yeah, let's hope no trains come. How long is the tunnel? Do you remember?
I don't remember. I thought it was like 4 miles, something like that.
2 or 4 miles.
Well, let me just set the trip meter.
Okay, Bob's setting the trip meter. We're gonna see how long it is. And here we go. And you'll see we're riding on train tracks, which is, we gotta straddle the train tracks because this is where the trains come through too. Okay, and here we go. Here's the tunnel.
The car behind us doesn't have its headlights on.
Uh-oh. You're supposed to have your headlights on. We're going through the mountain.
It's a little
Yep, see
freaky.
the drops? It's a little freaky.
Well, my claustrophobia just kicked in. Looking at the stone walls.
Yes.
Not good.
Yes. See, and you can see on the windshield, we just had a few little droplets. Yep, you can see there's parts that have metal, but then most of it is natural. So you can see where it still just looks like rock. It's kind of crazy. Kind of fun though. All right, I'm going to go ahead and turn it off. You got anything else to say, Bob?
Turn it back on before we get out.
Okay, will do. All right.
There's 2.5 so far.
2.5 so far.
Yeah, call it just over 2.5 miles.
Okay, so just over 2.5 miles. And we are keeping left. Woo, we're out.
Well, good morning. We are in Whittier. We just drove through the tunnel and we are at Portage Pass Trail. It's 1 mile long hike out and back, 1 mile out, 1 mile back, but it's a 1,000-foot elevation gain. But the view when we get up there is spectacular. If it's not too cloudy. As I'm looking around, it looks like it's starting to rain and pretty cloudy, but
yeah.
But I'm going to flip this around and show you what's behind us right now. Okay, so we have a big, beautiful blue glacier up there. Look at that. That's not the one we're going to. We're going to Portage. But anyhow, let's go do a hike. So right at the beginning of the trail, we've got a beautiful little river. A huge giant waterfall over there and a glacier over there. This is how we start the hike off. As you can see, the ceiling's pretty low, so hopefully we'll get a good view up there. Okay, we're finally off the parking lot car area and getting ready to go on the trail. 1 mile. But that's a 1,000-foot elevation gain in that 1 mile. All right, we've climbed about a third of the way. Not too far up into it yet, but you gotta see the view as we were looking back down. Just absolutely gorgeous. Definitely worth the hike up. And yes, I stopped to take a video, not to catch my breath. Just want to make sure everyone knows that. Well, we are almost halfway. And the view is still just absolutely spectacular. But we got to keep going. Okie dokie. There's a trail we just came up. You can see seawater over there. You can see the fog moving. You can see Angel taking a break. And you can see Portage Glacier. Look at that. I'm going to zoom in just for a second here. That's the glacier. We've got waterfalls here. And we have a huge waterfall on the other side of this valley. See if we can see it. There it is. So anyhow, it's a mile, a little over a mile. Current elevation is 837 feet above sea level, so quite a ways up here. And it's all about this view. We're gonna sit and have a snack and enjoy the view. And we are down. That was almost exactly 2 miles. And the highest point of the elevation of the observation point we went to was what, 850 feet or something like that?
Yes.
Took an hour and 45 minutes, but we did sit down and have snacks up the top. Absolutely fabulous again. Even though it's raining, yeah, when we're pretty wet.
We're pretty wet.
It's not a heavy rain, just a mist, but it's still absolutely gorgeous and worth every step. What do you think?
Absolutely. Every step, it's beautiful. I was a little worried that the clouds would be too low, but once we got up there, it just opened up. And it was beautiful, as always. Just beautiful.
A little slippery,
Little slippery.
because it is, you know, it's spitting a whole lot. Very, very wet, but a little slippery, but it definitely just take your time, be good. It's straight up and straight back down.
No switchbacks.
No switchbacks, straight up. So
Yes.
definitely worth every step of the way. So definitely add Portage Pass in Whittier, Alaska to your list.
Definitely.
All right, let's go see what we can find inside the town of Whittier.
Let's do it.
All right, the scrolling sign up there says next traffic release is at 1 o'clock. I got about 3 minutes to 1. But I have the feeling that that train tunnel we're going to drive through may be occupied. He's coming really, really slow. Maybe they'll let us go first. I don't know. But it'd be good if they let us go first because the speed of that train is slow. By the way, there's our view while we're sitting here. Okay, now it says next tunnel release is after the train. And I was sitting here saying, come on, green light. And then boom, the train got the green light. And we're gonna share the tunnel with train number 751. Shared tunnel. Okay, well, the train finally cleared. They let us go, and we're just now coming up to the end of the tunnel, leaving Whittier. And we're gonna see if it's still as rainy and wet on this side of the mountain as it was on the other side. Nothing like sharing a tunnel with a train. We're free. And look, it's still rainy and misty just like the other side. Alrighty, we are done playing over in Whittier. We're in Girdwood now. And this one is Virgin Creek Falls. It's supposed to be a pretty short hike, but it's a waterfall nonetheless here in Girdwood. So let's go see if we can find a waterfall.
Let's go look at it.
Alright, we made it. That's a big waterfall. Down there. Virgin Creek Falls. We're going to see if we get any closer. Alright, we got a little closer. I can just tell by the air temperature that water is cold. Gotta love a good big waterfall. Alright, so, well, there's more people over there. These are people we just met from Kazakhstan here in Girdwood.
Nice to meet you.
Hi, everyone. Virgin Creek Falls Trail. Came out to just over 1/3 of a mile. Pretty short. That's out and back. We did meet some people from Kazakhstan. That was kind of cool.
Yes.
They wanted their picture taken, so we'll get them out on YouTube. But it's a really big fall. I like the falls.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Short hike,
Yes.
so definitely beautiful falls, roaring river. So
Yeah, and beautiful. It reminds you of the Pacific Northwest with all the moss
and the trees, the way
and
the trees are growing.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Yep. Add it to your list. Girdwood.
Yes.
All right, let's go see what else we can find.
Let's go.
We are now out at Bird Point, right on the Turnagain Arm. And as you can see, the tide is out. Gorgeous views, by the way. Look at the mountains. It's finally starting to clear up a little bit in the rays. But sometime in the next about 15-20 minutes, the boar tide should be coming around these trees and coming along here. Hopefully we'll get a chance to see it here, and then we're gonna run up, hop in the truck, and go to some of these pullouts way down there and hopefully see it again. Last time we were here in 2019, there were surfers out there. Let's see what we see this time. Made it.
Okay, so we're trying to get the surfers here that are surfing on the boar tide. There's one. I don't know if he. Oh, here they are. There they are.
There's the boar tide. It's just kind of like it fizzled
there
out.
it is. Yeah. There we go. Here they are. They're on the edge of it. They're on the leading edge of it. Trying to get it.
There you go.
There we go. I'm trying. There we go. There's one. Let's see. There's the other ones. There they go. There they go. They're surfing the boar tide. Woo! Woohoo! There they are.
Alright, we got the boar tide coming in. We got a couple of surfers. Let me zoom in a little bit here. We have some surfers on the boar tide. Doesn't appear to be that big of a boar tide to this time. How cool. Oh, one just dropped out, called it done. This guy's still going. Look at the ripples behind it. Yeah, it's making a U shape. That's kind of cool. Oh, he's calling it done. There's the boar tide going in. They're coming in. Okay, so we're going to call that a wrap on the Turnagain Arm or Girdwood.
Girdwood.
I don't know why I have such a hard time saying that. It was an enjoyable stay, a very quick stay. We stayed at a motel. It was like $25 for a 20 amp circuit, and that was it. We stayed there for a couple of days. But when we first got there, we did the sea life, or not the sea life, I keep thinking that. It was the animal rescue. Mm-hmm. What's it called?
I can't remember.
The wildlife rescue.
Yeah, wildlife rescue.
Then we did the Whittier tunnel and the hike up Portage Pass. That's always an enjoyable hike.
Yes,
beautiful views from up there. Tough hike, but enjoyable views.
Yes.
A small little waterfall hike where we met some people from Kazakhstan or something like that.
Kazakhstan.
And then a boar tide. So the boar tide's always cool. I love seeing those guys surf that boar tide. That is so cool. So anyhow, what did you think, Angel?
Yeah, it was fun. I really enjoyed meeting the young people from Kazakhstan. They were so excited, and they were over here working for the summer, which is something we run into a lot around here, which is kind of fun. And of course, falls are beautiful, and they're like, maybe a fourth of a mile to get to them.
Yeah, I think it was like 0.3 or 0.4 of a mile out and back total.
Yep. And then the boar tide and the surfers is really cool. And then, of course, Portage. Wasn't sunny this time, but it was still beautiful. It's just
still beautiful.
Yeah.
Love getting up there and seeing that glacier. So, so from there, it's down to Valdez.
Yepers. Yeah, let's go hit Valdez.
All right. And if you haven't yet, please hit that subscribe button.
Yes, please. We would like that.
All right, until the next time.
Yes, let's go.